what's up everybody? So welcome to Thursday Q&A. This is the, every week I make these videos and I answer the questions that you leave in the comment section below. So make sure you leave some questions for me. I'll answer them next week. They can be about absolutely anything. So before we get started here, I want to talk about stickers because I have gotten the Love Yourself stickers and they look, these are the two that got messed up, but they look like this and they are 3x7 and I ordered the, you guys voted and the vast majority of people voted on B on my video the other day where I asked people to vote for the video. Thank you all for participating in that, by the way. That was incredible. So I've ordered those. Those are on the way. These ones got here in 3 days, so I imagine they'll probably be here tomorrow or the day after. So if you want to buy either a Love Yourself sticker or a Into the Mystery 13 logo sticker, you're welcome to do so. You can send $5 to my PayPal, and that includes shipping, and I will ship it out to you as soon as I can. Yeah, they're made in USA and vinyl and water resistant. They're good quality stickers. I made sure to get good ones. The only thing is when I was putting one of these on the back of my van, I noticed I got some air bubbles, and I think it would really help to heat up the area a little bit first with a hairdryer or something like that, or not do it in a rush like I did. I actually made a video about the stickers yesterday, but I was in such a rush because the sun was setting that I just kind of threw it on and I got bubbles. But if you take your time a little bit more, you shouldn't have any problems. If you want to meet the man who created the Into the Mystery 13 logo, he's right here.
What's up, guys?
Who are you?
I am Weston.
From
Wizard Dream YouTube and Wizard Dream Design, Facebook.com.
And you do?
I do graphic design.
Cool.
Vandwell.
How does someone get a hold of you if they want to have you make something like the Into the Mystery 13 logo sticker?
If you need anything like that, just reach me through Facebook messages.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Isn't this van rad? Yeah, he's got an awesome Astro too. So check out his channel. So let's get started on this Q&A. We actually don't have that many questions this week, so I'm gonna tell you guys. I want to make sure that there's like value in this. This is the other reason why I took down yesterday's video about stickers. I didn't feel like there's any value, and it was just a minute of me talking about stickers. So I'm going to tell you my greatest fear and a story about how that happened, and ask you a question about it at the end of this. So Steve Greason asked for my Q next Thursday, what was that metal flask-looking object you were holding in the last video? Thanks. He was referring to this. This is my e-cig. It's a Kanger K-Box and Kanger Tech Subtank Nano tank on this thing. It's a pretty awesome little device. I've had it for a while. It works great. So Zombear asked, in one of your first videos, you mentioned that you really missed your motorbike. Do you still have plans to get one, or is it simply that your priorities have changed? I'd definitely like to have another motorcycle, absolutely. I really, really miss riding. It's like one of the most freeing, awesome feelings I know of. I love riding motorcycles. Someday, yeah, I'll definitely have another one. Right now, it's not on my budget. Deuterino Ronan asks, is Key West working out for you? So this is kind of a long one. There's a couple different aspects to this. I'll talk about the police aspect first. I personally have had no problems with the police since I've been here. The parking lot that I've parked in every night since I've been here, the cops have been there twice, but they've been messing with the homeless people that live in the bushes and under the trailer. But they haven't messed with me at all, at once. I think a lot of that has to do with stealth. I know that Howie Roll, the YouTube upcoming star, I'll leave his channel link in the description as well. He's had, and he made a video about this yesterday, he's had quite a few problems with the police. He's been towed, he's been harassed, he's had stickers left on his van, he's been threatened with arrest, all kinds of stuff. He's had some issues with cops here. His van is not stealth at all, though, at all. It's a high top, and it's got all the vents on the side and a generator out back and everything. So I think that's the difference there. As far as finding work, hasn't been nearly as easy as I thought it would be. That said, I haven't tried the temp agencies yet, and I couldn't find a day labor place, so I don't think there is one here. I think it's kind of a thing where they just hire locals anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still working on that. The weather, it's been too hot. Last 3 nights have been way too warm for me to sleep. So I'm like, I really just need a good night's sleep. and I'm kind of, because of those two reasons, but especially the third, I'm actually kind of thinking of taking off. And the third is just how many people are here. It's so busy all the time. The only place I've found to be alone is the state park down here, but it's $5 to get in per day, and they close at sunset, so I can't even spend the whole day there. So I'm kind of thinking about finding, figuring out how to head north a little bit to somewhere where it's easier to find a job. And I actually got a kind of a job offer thing working on someone's van up in Fort Lauderdale, so I might be heading up there. But otherwise, it's beautiful, it's quirky, the people are really nice. It's really cool. There's palm trees and iguanas everywhere. There's coconuts everywhere. The beaches are beautiful. The sunsets are breathtaking. I really like this island, but the warm, humid temperature, the cops, the constant threat of cops, and trouble with that. Being towed, dude, I can't afford $200 to get my van back. So if my house gets towed, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I could use credit cards, but I really don't want to use them anymore. So yeah, so that's what's going on with Key West for me. Christine Douglas asked, do you have levels or jacks on your bed? I have been told that stealth camping makes for very unleveled nights. Your thoughts do inspire me, Christine. Thanks, Christine. No, I don't have levels or jacks. I have an app on my phone that has a level thing that I set on my bed to make sure that it's either level or one area is higher than the other. I don't mind my head being higher than my feet. Like, I don't mind sleeping on an incline at all. The side-to-side thing's a little tougher, but I've heard that if you sleep with your feet below your head, then you can wake up with a really wicked headache that takes a while to get rid of. That doesn't sound fun at all. So I always sleep with my head higher than my feet or level. There's definitely been some nights where, I was a little unlevel, but I just kind of got used to it. I kind of sink, my mattress is pretty thick and comfy, so I just kind of sink into it anyway. I try to sleep with the back or the side, especially the side facing the sunrise, because if the sunrise comes in through the front, then it's really hot. And if it comes in through the back, then the back area is hot. So if I sleep with the back end towards the sunrise, and I try to sleep with my head up here and run the fan up front so that my head stays cooler, because just waking up hot sucks, man. I've done it the last 3 nights, and it's just, I'm over it. But the unlevel thing, yeah, I don't have jacks or levels, and there are you have to work around and figure out the perfect parking spot to keep everything level. S. McCoy says, what's the worst song you think somebody could play at a funeral? I'm torn between these 2 songs, and I forget the names of the artists, but the links are there in last week's Q&A. Those are both really funny, by the way. I think the old punk song, the TSOL song, Code Blue would probably be the worst. If you have a kind of like, how do I say this without sounding like a jerk? If you don't have a dark sense of humor, then you won't appreciate this song. So don't look it up. I think that's the right way to say that. It's about it's a joke about necrophilia. So I think that would be absolutely the worst thing to ever play at somebody's funeral. That would just be terrible. I got 2 questions about busking, actually, which is kind of interesting. 2 in 1. So Valfazio and Sillyman asked if I've ever tried busking for extra money, and I have. I have in Portland, Oregon, Portland, Maine, and Nashville, and I was going to try here, and I'll tell you about that in a second. I didn't make much money either way. My style is more deep and almost melancholic, but deep and emotional, and just deep, man. And I think that people want to hear like top 40, like just like surface music that's like cheery and doesn't make sense and doesn't have any real like meaning to it. So I think that's why I haven't made much money doing it, and people just kind of like, they want to stay numb, kind of just listen to top 40, shake your booty music. So I haven't made much money doing that. Silly Man, you said that you were thinking about giving it a try for the experience, not the money. If you're interested in like getting in a band or something, or like even doing what's the word for that? You go to a bar and you just play music, whatever, a venue. The word's evading me right now. But yeah, it's totally an awesome experience just to make yourself vulnerable and really I mean, your music is part of you, you know, so like put yourself on the line and just make yourself vulnerable to like people's criticism and whatnot is like a really powerful, beautiful thing. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. Also, if you're a musician and you're trying to like get over stage fright, if that's your thing, join a choir. Because I mean, you don't have to do it alone. You're with a bunch of people and you're like part of the thing, but you're singing in front of other people. I did that for a while. That was a really powerful experience. Those are some of the best days of my lives, man. I missed the choir. That was awesome. I loved it, man. All the people in there were so cool. Best friends instantly. It was so cool. Hoy Banpang asks, if you're parked in bear country, do you hang up your food or leave it in the van? Historically, what I do is I park somewhere that's not where I'm sleeping, and I only cook outside, and I only do my dishes outside in the same place where I'm cooking. And then I air the van out all the way just in case some food smells get in there. And then I move the van somewhere else to where I'm sleeping, and I make sure that everything's airtight. I think those bears got some wicked good sniffers, man, so there's no way. I guess it would be smart to tie it up. I think I did do that once when I had like leftovers that were real smelly, and I didn't have the fridge at that time. So at that point in time, I did tie it up in a tree. But usually I just cook in a different area than where I park and sleep. I'm paranoid about bears though. I've got a thing about bears. So that's our last question. The thing I'm even more afraid of though is drugs in my food. This is absolutely ridiculous. But I'm going to tell you this. One, because it's good to be vulnerable and tell people silly things about yourself. But also there were so little questions, and I felt bad about yesterday's video. Like just like, buy my sticker, you know, like I wanted to give you actual content that may be entertaining or whatever. So this whole thing started when I went to a Misfits concert, and I had a couple shots, and I rode my motorcycle. I rode my motorcycle there, and then I had a couple shots, and I was drinking water out of this water jug thing that they had, and this guy that looked like he was all spun out on something was like, "Oh, dude, I put like 10 hits of acid in that. Everybody in here is going to be frying in about a half an hour, dude." And then he just walked off, and I was like, what? And I started getting really anxious instantly, and I started to have a panic attack. So I went outside, and I tried to find somewhere quiet to just sit and meditate and just focus on my breathing and get through it. I mean, part of me knew he was just joking. He was just being a jerk. He looked like a frat boy and just looked like a jerk. Not that all frat boys are jerks, but he looked like a jerk. That's totally judgmental, but he had that energy, you know. Obviously he was telling me that, so he was a jerk, man. So I had the panic attack, and I just sat outside for like 10 minutes, and then I was like, I have to leave. I can't be here, because if I start frying on acid, then there's going to be a huge problem, because I don't know how to handle that, and I don't know what's going to happen. I was just really scared, and so I left. You know, I had taken a couple shots, so I had a little buzz going, and I probably shouldn't have been riding, because I don't like riding even with a mild buzz. I just think it's stupid, because your life's on the line and other people's lives. But at that point in time, I didn't see much option. I thought that the safest place for me to be, if he really did put all that acid in the water, was to be at home in my bedroom. And so I went home and rode all the way there. It was like 30-minute ride, and by the time I got there, the acid hadn't kicked in yet, and I was thinking, man, shouldn't it have kicked in by now? Like, shouldn't I be fine? And then I looked up what 10 hits of acid will do to you, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go insane, because I had watched SLC Punk a few days earlier, and there was a guy on there that took a bunch of acid, and he was permanently insane for the rest of his life. Like, he lost everything. He was just a nutcase after that. And so I got really, really paranoid, man, and the next like 2 hours was just like constant panic attack. And then finally I realized it's been like 2.5 hours and I'm not seeing funny things yet or hallucinating or going crazy. I'm just really, really anxious, and that was it. But so obviously he didn't put acid in the water and I was fine. But ever since then, every time I get water or food from somewhere else that's not packaged, that little in the back of my head, man, there's, oh my God, what if they put drugs in it? And it's just the most annoying thing in the world, because it's completely irrational. First of all, I mean, like, if someone had drugs, why would they put drugs in other people's food? Like, that doesn't make sense. It's completely illogical. Why they would keep it for themselves to get high? Like, that's how it works, right? So it's completely, it's the stupidest thing, but it really, like, I'm paranoid about it. Like, it gets to me sometimes, and sometimes I have to, like, really fight with myself to just let it go and just be and relax, you know? So if you have any suggestions for me of how I can get rid of this, historically the way I get rid of these stupid little fears is to do the thing I'm afraid of, but I definitely don't want to do 10 hits of acid. That's ridiculous. So if you have any suggestions for me of how I can get rid of that, please let me know, or how I can work through that. So thank you very much. Love yourself. Woo! Oh, my legs asleep. My legs asleep.